Today I'm going to start a new series about nurse practitioner burnout. This is, oh boy, something that has really come to the forefront during our recent COVID-19 pandemic and is becoming a problem across the world. I'm going to start today by discussing the Medscape Nurse Practitioner Burnout and Depression Report 2022, and there'll be a link to this report in the comment section, so don't miss that. I'm only going to take snippets of it, but some of the key features that I think are really important to include. Medscape conducted a nurse practitioner and physician assistant burnout survey. They surveyed nurse practitioners and physician assistants from April 5th to May 20th, 2022. They looked at United States nurse practitioners who were Medscape members. 2,084 nurse practitioners completed the survey. 27% of those worked in family practice, and the remainder worked across a wide range of healthcare services. And the demographics are listed below. So the majority are female, and the ages range fairly consistently between 35 and 64, with a few outliers on each end of the age scale. Okay, some of the key messages that I took from this is that almost a third, 31% of nurse practitioners are considering leaving the profession. This is huge. If we can think of the numbers of nurse practitioners working, and if 31% of them decide to leave, we're in big trouble. Some of the activities, self-care activities that nurse practitioners implement are listed here. Spending time with family, doing activities, etc. And I think we can all attest that these are things that would certainly help anyone who's feeling burned out or depressed. Okay, so 41% of the nurse practitioners say that there is a program in their workplace to help with stress and burnout. Almost half of the nurse practitioners had had an episode of depression prior to entering the profession. Only 36% of nurse practitioners who are burned out or depressed are currently or planning on seeking professional help. 13% of the nurse practitioners surveyed had suicidal thoughts or attempted suicide, 1% of them, and approximately half mentioned these thoughts to a therapist. And interestingly, younger nurse practitioners, less than 45 years old, are more likely to partake in self-care activities, are currently or planning on seeking professional help, and are more likely to mention suicidal thoughts to a therapist. Depression affects nurse practitioners in a number of ways, and you can see some of the key elements here. So certainly, I express frustration in front of my colleagues. I'm easily exasperated with colleagues, and I'm easily exasperated with patients. Those are some key issues, and I think they may be really helpful signs for any of us who are doing self-reflection about our own burnout status. Okay, 66% identified job burnout as a factor contributing to their depression. Full-time nurse practitioners are more likely to be depressed and burned out, and less likely than part-time to use services to implement strategies such as meditation, to request reduced job hours, or a change in work setting, or to get a new job. Before we try to interpret this, we have to understand how difficult it might be for a full-time nurse practitioner to integrate some of these changes into their current workplace. These are some of the things that the survey cited as what would reduce nurse practitioner burnout. Financial stress is a huge factor in all of this as well. But certainly things like greater respect, more support staff, more manageable work schedule, lighter patient loads are all hugely important. So again, some of the things that contribute to burnout, I think we can all attest to all the paperwork that has to be done, bureaucratic tasks. And if financial stress is a huge part of nurse practitioner burnout, then compensation and salary are big issues. And again, lack of respect from administrators, employees, colleagues, or staff, as well as work hours and lack of respect from patients. And then finally, for sure, social distancing and societal issues, the stress related to those. All right, this is the link to the Medscape survey. So this was a quick review of the key features. There are many more outcomes of this survey, and I encourage you to go to the survey itself and look at their results. Medscape has done a great job. So in future episodes, I'm going to look a little bit more in depth about the research related to nurse practitioner burnout and provide information with potential for helping to alleviate some of the burnout or prevent it altogether. So stay tuned.